Welcome in, George, to the Elite Sports Podcast. It has been quite a while, my friend, too long. It is great to see you. Man, what happened in that crazy game?
Must you ask? I mean, the score
Sorry.
told the story. Man, hey, we got beat pretty bad. Kansas City came to play. We didn't.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Carr has been having a really nice season, but you guys have kind of gone through some bumps along the road. Obviously, the tragic story of what happened with Henry Ruggs and is still kind of progressing as it goes through the legal system. And John Gruden is out as head coach. Just kind of what were your thoughts on those two events that have kind of affected your guys' season?
You know, both were blows. You know, anytime you get something that you're not expecting, it becomes a blow to you. And losing John Gruden the way we did definitely was a blow. He ran the organization. I mean, he was the guy who ran the football side of the organization. And then coming right back a few weeks later, losing Henry Ruggs, to a DUI and unfortunately a murder case.
Yeah.
That was not only unfortunate, but it was shocking, and just number of things happened back to back to back. We lost our the president at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been a year that the Raiders will remember forever.
Yeah, for sure. How do you feel like Rich Bisaccia has stepped up into that role as interim head coach, taking you guys kind of and working your way through some of these events that have happened?
He's done an unbelievable job of handling the team. When you have 53 diverse individuals, it takes a unique person to control and handle that. He's done a real good job, and Rich, he's proven that he has the capabilities and the desire to be a head coach. We'll see what happens as time goes on.
Yeah, and George, I mean, you've been coming on the show since we started all the way back in 2012. I mean, what is it going to take to get the Raiders kind of back on top where they need to be? You were there with John Madden, Super Bowl 11. I mean, what's it going to take?
Man, it's going to take an effort. I mean, it's going to take the entire organization to work together to get to correct it. We have to see what's going to happen now at the end of the season, because that will start a new era for the Raiders. And right now, as things are, we're still battling issues and events, and we got a schedule that we have to meet. We got guys that we have injuries. I mean, it's just a lot of things that are coming up at the same time, and I'm not making excuses because I mean we had an opportunity to direct our ship in the direction we wanted it to go, but we didn't. So that's on us. So now we have to make corrections going into the future in order to get to that point that you asked me about. When will this team get back to its winning ways and get back into a Super Bowl? I always have said if the Raiders are winning, it's good for football. And it's going to take some time and effort, and we have to decide on who the leadership will be, and that's the next important thing.
Yeah, at the end of this season, that interim tag will be removed from Rich Bisaccia there. And here at Starcade Media, Clint and I, we want to throw a name into the ring, and that is you, George Atkinson, for head coach to lead the Raiders.
Too old for that.
No, never. You got
I'm ready to go play golf every day,
Well, I can't argue with that for sure. But if you look at this team, just kind of what Derek Carr has provided, he was leading the league in passing yards just a couple weeks ago. I mean, Hunter Renfrow has really come on and stepped up with the Henry Ruggs loss. He's really stepped up into that role. You got Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller's out right now, but you guys on Saturday are going to take on the Cleveland Browns. There's a lot of COVID going on in the NFL right now. I know the Browns have been hit hard. Baker Mayfield's going to be out, it sounds like. So they lose their head coach, Kevin Stefanski. What are you guys looking for in this matchup as you head into Saturday against the Browns?
Well, we're looking to get back on track with a win on the road, and that's the goal. We understand that they have players out, but you still have to meet your schedule. And they have an opportunity just like we have on any given Sunday, as they say. But we have to go in prepared. We have to go in, and it's almost a must-win for us,
Yeah.
and for a number of different reasons. And it's Saturday afternoon. We'll tell the story. We'll know whether we're still in the hunt. We'll see if we're playing good football, because after a while, with the condition that the team is in, with the interim coach and everything's up in the air, it becomes a tryout, basically.
Yeah.
Each game is a tryout for the coaches, tryout for the players, because there will be some changes made, have to be made, because we're forced to make them, and that will determine our future, I think. So Saturday starts the beginning of the future for the Raiders.
Yeah, and all eyes will kind of be on that game, and then the Patriots Colts, I think, are the only two Saturday games. So the eyes of the world, the eyes of the nation will be on Raider Nation there. But what did you see this past week with the Chiefs? They had been really struggling on defense to start the season. Their defense has really come on, and their offense just kind of seems to be finding ways to get through the game and get more points than the other team with the help of that great defense.
It's a veteran team that's been to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, and went back a second time. So this team knows how to win. And when you look at Kansas City, you're looking at a team that's well organized, carefully planned. The players that they have are exactly what they need for the system that they're running, and they're playing good football. Football season starts, the championship run starts in December, and Kansas City is starting to play like they want to get back to the Super Bowl. And they're an unbelievable football team, and they have great coaching, good players, great players. And they represent the AFC West. If it's not us, then I'm pulling for them.
Hey, we'd love to hear that. And George, I wanted to talk about Gus Bradley. He coming over from Seattle, your guys' defensive coordinator. He is known for running that kind of cover 3 system. It worked really well in Seattle with guys like Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Brandon Browner on the other side. But the Chiefs have been struggling a lot against, we've been hearing this term all season long, this cover 2 shell that is causing the Chiefs problem, not letting them get over the top. Did you guys talk about that at all, playing the cover 2 shells? Gus likes that cover 3. What have you noticed? The Chiefs been able to put up a lot of points.
Not really. We just went into our regular defensive game plan. And, definitely you tweak some of it for the players that they have. You got Tyreek, you definitely have to game plan for. And the other receivers, you got Kelsey, you got a game plan for. And, the kid 17.
McCole Hardman, yeah.
Hardman. I mean, he's no slouch. So they have weapons. And whenever you have weapons, you can put cover 2, cover 1, cover 8, cover 7. I mean, if the weapons, if they do their part, it's hard on the defense, because you're reacting to what they do, and with the speed that they have. I mean, Kansas City, if I'm you as a broadcaster for the Chiefs, I'll be smiling right now.
Oh, I've got a smile on my face, but I mean, that could be wiped off my face pretty soon here. Just a few hours, the Chiefs take on the Chargers in Los Angeles, a big Thursday night matchup for first place in the AFC West. What have you seen out of Justin Herbert, and what do you see out of this matchup? Looks like the Chiefs could be down Chris Jones.
Quarterback for San Diego, Herbert, a good football player, real good football player. He's come along. He's still maturing. And that's the crazy part about it. The guy's still getting better and better each week. Yeah. He's learning the game, seems like, as he goes along, and the system. So it will be a good football team. The Chargers, I think, will give them a real good game, because they're not a bad football team at all. Yeah. And they're breathing down Kansas City's neck. Who knows? I mean, if Kansas City is slipping, as you suggested earlier, maybe it's San Diego who's coming up. So it should be a good football game. We'll see who's ready to play in championship play.
Yeah, and the Chargers are kind of a unique team. Talk about kind of the problems they present from a big body kind of receiver and tight end. part that they have, because they've got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and then the tight ends, Derek Parham and Jared Cook, are just these big bodies that you're not used to seeing across the board at receiver and tight end.
Well, Kansas City Chiefs defense will definitely be tested. And I think, it will answer some questions around the league, actually, because if San Diego exposes them, then the door is open. So, it's going to be a hard-fought game. I think both coordinators on both sides of the ball, both offensively and defensively, will have to coordinate at their best, I think, in order to win. And the players have to step up, answer the bell, and execute on every down. It's going to be a good football game, man. It will determine a lot.
Well, George, as a former safety, we like to call you Mr. Raider. You also known as the Hitman. You were in that Soul Patrol secondary that the Raiders had back in the 70s with John Madden, those Super Bowl teams. We've talked to you since you've come on since 2012 about the Raiders secondary. Has it gotten better? What have you seen? You've always kind of wanted to see improvement, specifically in that secondary. What do you see in there, and where do you think they need to go to improve that secondary? Earlier this season, you guys let go of Damon Arnett. So what are you seeing in that Raiders secondary?
You're talking about the Raiders secondary, right?
Yeah.
It needs, there's some young players who are coming along. We're young back there in the secondary. You look at our secondary, and we're very young. We have Casey Hayward, who came in, but behind him we have a young player. So you look at Abrams, a young player. Murray, a young player. And you look at Mullins, a young player. And you look at the backups. They're young. So the secondary is young. It'll take time to develop. The secondary I played in, it took us 3 or 4 years to actually come together and start playing together. And it's going to take these guys a little bit. Plus, they're learning a new defense with Gus Bradley's defense.
Yeah.
And I think eventually it's going to be an excellent secondary. Gus Bradley, I really admire him, and I respect him as a coordinator. He knows what he's doing, and he's a conscientious guy who works hard from sun up to sundown. And I think eventually he and Ron Miles and Richard Smith will develop a good defense.
Well, I was reading a story just a few days ago about Fran Tarkenton, and he was saying how you guys had the best secondary in NFL history, and you guys gave them all sorts of fits in Super Bowl 11, all they wanted and then some. What do you kind of make of that? Do you kind of look at yourself and the Soul Patrol as the best secondary in NFL history?
Oh, we were the best.
Love it.
Look at our record.
Yeah,
we were the best. And look at the guys across the board, the interceptions, the tackles. And the intimidation that we presented during that time. I appreciate Fran. I appreciate Fran saying that, and he told the truth. We were the best at that time in our era.
Yeah, and that was big for him to say after you guys kind of crushed him in that Super Bowl, to come out and just be like, hey, they're the best in the business, man. There's nothing I can do out there. But I also want to talk to you, George, about Yannick Ngakoue. Bringing everybody to the middle of the field on the logo, kind of meeting there. The Chiefs said that kind of gave them some extra motivation. They shouldn't do that. They're kind of disrespecting what the Chiefs have built there. What were your takes on Yannick Ngakoue and the Raiders meeting there on the Chiefs Arrowhead logo?
As a ex-player, that's something that, the guys I played with, we wouldn't have done. But, different day, different time. And
yeah.
I didn't see it at the time because I was already in the locker room. So, I'm pretty sure that it's regretted. And at some point, I'm sure there'll be somewhat of an apology.
An apology from the Raiders to the Chiefs? Is that possible? Is that allowed?
I'm just I can't speak for the Raider organization in that manner. I'm just thinking that it will happen at some point, because of the organization and the kind of organization it is, which the Raiders are a class organization. So at some point, somewhere down the line, I'm pretty sure, that'll come up and it'll be addressed.
And George, how are you liking the move to Vegas? Obviously, you were up there near Oakland. You guys were there, and you moved to Vegas. You were telling us you weren't sure if you were going to make the move, if it felt right or not. And you're like, "I'm a Raider. I got to be where the Raiders are. I'm going to Vegas with them." How's life in Vegas, my friend?
Life in Vegas is pretty good. John brought me aboard to work with the kids when he was hired, and I was doing some work in the organization anyway, so it was easy. It was a move lateral, I guess you'd say. But Raiders my team, and Las Vegas is not a bad. I didn't know if I would like it at first,
Yeah.
but when you get into the community and away from the strip, very nice community, well planned out. The neighborhoods are really planned out well because you move into a neighborhood, you really don't have to go out of that neighborhood for anything. All your conveniences are right there in the neighborhood, and that's almost in every neighborhood. So it's working out okay. I'm a Georgia boy at heart.
Of course, yes.
When the season's over, I beat it to Georgia, Savannah.
Well, we love to hear that. Love to hear it's going well, and then that you can get back and be in Savannah. Like you said, you're a Georgia boy. Good to get back there. I might be in Vegas in February, so I don't know if you're going to still be around there early February. I'd love to get together with you, and because I think I'm going to be out there. And the first
give me a
week of
call.
February. Absolutely, we'll do.
Yeah, give me a call. Hey, man, pleasure being with you again.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure, George. We got to do this more often. I mean, we went out to dinner a few years ago when you guys came here to Kansas City. We got to get together in person again. It's been too long. We're getting through this pandemic. It needs to happen, my friend.
Hey, I tell you what, you come to Vegas, give me a call. If I'm here, we'll hook up again.
All right. Sounds good. Take care, my friend. We'll be watching the Raiders on Saturday. Wishing you all the best, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Appreciate it.